Hi, welcome to Geek Talk. We've all suffered through the Avengers, and we see how everybody's liking it. Everybody's a little shaken up. I got Soltren with me, Josh. I have to say his real name. Got yelled at. Josh Soltren. And now today we got Valeria. We have found the girl comic nerd on campus and brought her in. So welcome. So have you made it to the Avengers yet?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. So anybody that has not, this is spoilers, don't watch this episode because we're going to talk about some stuff and I don't want to ruin the movie for you. Well, actually I do, but I'm not going to. So what did you think? What was the best part?
Oh.
I'm talking to you because I see him all the time.
There wasn't no good part. I mean, it was a good movie, but it was depressing. Like, every 5 minutes someone died, and then it was like the cute little funny jokes, but then other than that, it was just like, bam,
Okay.
off.
What did you think, Flash?
I loved it. It was like, I loved how it jumped quickly into the action. How some Marvel movies they do a little bit storytelling and then they go to show a little bit of action, but they saved the big action for the end. This movie had big action in the beginning, middle, and end all over the place. Just right when they hopped into the Asgardian ship with Thor and all of that, the Hulk just started fighting Thanos immediately. Even though it was a short time, the action was very quick and it was very satisfying.
Okay. I can see that point. I don't know, I guess my take on it is it was much more like a comic book. It was like they start off and then they jump from place to place and they just sort of have like these small segments with little bits of action to kind of keep it moving through. But it was so dark it was almost a Justice League movie, except not as good. Yeah.
What?
No, I liked it. It was fun. I mean, it was a fun movie. It was very much a comic book movie.
Mm-hmm.
I know that everybody's like, oh, everybody's dying, all these things are happening. And that's when when we were leaving the movies, me and the producer, the people were all sad because Spider-Man died and all these people died. Yep,
Mm-hmm.
Spoilers, warned you. But I've read the comic, so I know in the Infinity War comic how it kind of resolves itself. And there was some groundwork towards that in the movie that they were building towards who really beats everybody, who really brings everything around.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in the Avengers, though, they really showed Thor as a very powerful character. I mean, he was
Mm-hmm.
basically exposed to direct sun, and then he's, everything's falling apart, and then he shows up, and it turns the tide of battle. And so I think we're going to see Thor as a much more predominant player in the second part of this.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have to kind of start thinking about who could wear the gauntlet other than Thanos.
But in the comics, Iron Man, he created a suit that was able to wield the gauntlet. Or did he? I know there were certain characters in the comics that have wielded the gauntlet that are not,
There's Adam Warlock.
But not like in the universe right now. I'm pretty sure there have been characters.
Well, Adam Warlock's been introduced.
Really?
They actually, he's referred to originally when he first shows up in the comics as him. And the last Guardians of the Galaxy, that golden chick, she's like, and I will call him Adam.
Mm-hmm.
She's talking about Adam Warlock.
Oh, the thing that was in the machine that was being like built or whatnot.
The genetically perfect entity.
Mm-hmm.
That's Adam Warlock.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I don't think he'll show up. I think they're laying the groundwork for Thor to be the guy because he
Mm-hmm.
could wear the hammer as powerful as he is at this point.
Yeah.
And so, all these people, I've had students already freaking out. It's like, oh no, I thought they were going to make a Black Panther 2. I'm like,
They are.
that's already gone down the river. It's made billions. Trust me, there's going to be a Black Panther 2.
It's like a lot of people, they're worried that, they killed all of them, they're not coming back. I'm like 99.99% sure everyone's coming back except for the people that died another way. That wasn't the snapping.
That's a way to think about it.
That's it because what I saw, because I was looking up theories after the movie, because I was like, no, because my favorite characters can't be dead, like dead. But they was talking about when Thanos was forced into that other realm with Gamora when she was a child. They were talking about how Gamora as a child, she was like happy and she had like smudges on her eyes, and they were talking about probably her soul went into her child's body, and then in that realm, anyone who dies by the Soul Stone is going to be put into that realm. Because then I also saw that the battlefield is even now. There's an even amount in the realm, and there's an even amount in the Earth.
In the real world.
Yeah, I was trying to look it up, but I can't find the list anymore. But it evened the playing field out. Like they have a certain number of people that can do like anything with like spells, and then the strength.
Oh, that's an interesting way to look at it. I hadn't really thought about that. There was when Adam Warlock first showed up, he had the Soul Stone, and there was a world inside the Soul Stone, and any soul that was absorbed could be interacted with inside the Soul Stone. So that might be where that's going. I kind of thought about it as in the comics, Thanos kind of defeats himself because he's sad and mournful, but he's also he understands the complexity of what he's doing, and logic says yes, wiping out half the world or universe is a good thing, saves resources. But then in his soul, when Gamora turns against him and all of that, it kind of wakens the humanity within him enough to where, and so the gauntlet responds to his thoughts, but also to his subconscious, and so he doesn't actually kill them. He shunts them, and so that might be what they're doing. Is they're just going into the soul world or something, and inevitably he leaves himself vulnerable, and Adam Warlock takes the gauntlet from him and puts it on and undoes everything. But like I said, I think they're really leaning towards Thor with that because, I mean, even in the last movie, I know you like Ragnarok, and I was kind of little jokey Thor. He demonstrated a lot more power this time. I mean, it was really devastating. So it kind of sets him up to be this more powerful entity. And I don't know. So I mean, what about the characters? I mean, Captain America was not Captain America. He was just the captain.
Yeah.
They didn't give him much, like, how would you say it? Screen time. He had screen time, but it's like not characterization on him in this movie like we have in the other movies. So I think that was just my major issue. Like there were so many characters, they just couldn't focus on every single character as much as they would like to. But I mean, I still love the movie either way, but it's just not every character got as much focus as I would have liked.
Yeah, I thought it was a good balance though.
Yeah,
I mean, they
that's what I
balanced
thought
it.
too, because I mean, I got the scenes. Captain America's my favorite. I got the scenes where it's Captain America was there, Bucky had his own scenes, and then they came together. So it was kind of balanced out for me. I think it's because their two characters originally met. So.
Well, I think that it could have easily been like Spider-Man and the Avengers. It could have been 90% Spider-Man. It could have been. I liked even with Tony Stark, he didn't dominate every scene, everything, and so I thought that was. And he was a great balance with Doctor Strange. Their interactions were very funny.
I was looking forward to seeing like Spidey and Doctor Strange, but I love Doctor Strange and Stark because don't forget Doctor Strange was rich. He was like a billionaire before he was not a billionaire, but millionaire doctor that. But then when the movie shows what happened, but. It's like two rich dudes just arguing, and it's like there's not stubbornness, but I forgot what the word is, but a quality they both have just it wasn't working together with them.
Well, they're both
They're
experts in their
knuckleheads.
end.
Knuckleheads, that's the word.
Knuckleheads.
Well, they're opposite ends of the spectrum. One is
Yeah.
mystic and soul, and
One's like
technology.
strength and like
And so those balances between the two. So predictions. You think? You said you think everybody's coming back?
I think everyone except for Gamora and Loki. And of course Heimdall are coming back.
Okay.
I think there may be a possibility Loki will come back, but it's super slim if he played a trick of some sorts. But I highly doubt that. I don't think it's possible.
I don't think so. Loki, when you strangle someone, that he just went limp.
Sure,
and I'm
but
pretty sure if he came back, Thor wouldn't have just left him on the ship. And I feel like Loki, you also got to see like how his eyes were and everything, like his completely like red, like.
But not even that, he fooled his brother and Thor: The Dark World thinking
I
he
mean,
was dead.
yeah,
and
I could see, because I've seen other stuff where, like, he may come back. A lot of people are like, is he really dead? But I'm just like,
like Loki.
I'm not going to get my hopes up for Loki.
Like Loki, I'm not
So-
getting my hopes. I'm just saying he's the master of trickery. So, I'm not saying he's coming back. I'm just saying out of all the characters that died not by the snap, there's more of a chance of him coming back than Gamora or Heimdall.
See, I'm going to make a prediction. Everybody comes back.
Everyone that died.
Yeah, because he has the time stone.
Oh, and he can go back in time,
He can
To-
go back.
like what he
Basically
did with Vision. Like, that's...
He could just show up on the ship where Thanos is standing there, just beat up the Hulk, cast the Hulk away, and then just takes him out there.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he can bend time back that far. Saves Loki, saves Heimdall. With a snap of a finger, he rebuilds Asgard. I mean, it could be where it does the whole pendulum swing, where he puts the gauntlet on and the power, they have to stop Thor at that point because he starts rebuilding the universe as his Asgardian vision would take him. I mean, the Infinity Stones really just, even the most good become corrupt.
Yeah,
Because
all
it's,
that power.
yeah, and it's driven by your subconscious in a lot of ways. So, he's
You've been through a lot.
He's been through a lot. He lost his eye. Now he's got the robot eye, which I thought was kind of funny. But, his dad's gone. Asgard's gone. And if he got that kind of power, it would be way too tempting to bring it all back.
Mm-hmm.
And it might be a way for them to kind of reboot the universe. Reboot Asgard, reboot the storyline, do something on those lines. I mean, we are 18 movies in. So that's a lot of movies.
That's true.
And these actors aren't getting any younger.
Oh no, that's my thing. I heard that the characters for Thor, Captain America, and Tony, their contracts ended with Infinity War.
I think they end in Avengers 4. I think they end in the second one.
Hopefully that's it, because I wouldn't want to see 3 other random. I mean, I understand it's just they don't want to or whatever, but I'm just like, I feel like it won't have the same effect.
Well, I guess my question would be, if you're an actor and you got the part to be Captain America, and you're not just Captain America in one Captain America movie, you're Captain America for a whole generation. I mean, it's like being Luke Skywalker or being, how do you really walk away from that?
You can't. That's my thing. That you can't. But I heard like my expectations. I was expecting Captain America to die in this movie, but because I was hearing that, I heard stuff that he was gonna retire and everything after this movie. So I was like, all right. So I'm already put in my head that Captain America is gonna like die, but then I was wrong. So.
Well, I mean, they do that. I mean, there's so much misinformation. I mean, the funniest thing I've heard so far is that they only gave the guy that plays Spider-Man the parts that he actually had to speak in the script because he runs his mouth too much.
Yeah, I was just watching a video. He said they won't let him look at any of the script because he just spoils everything.
Yeah, because he doesn't mean to, but he's just so
He's
excited.
just so excited.
I mean, that's just it. How long would you want to play Spider-Man? Until they made me stop.
Yeah.
I mean, and that's why, with these guys, I mean, when you look at a person's career, this is a career maker. I mean, it's like being James Bond, or So when we look at these guys, I don't think they're going to quit anytime soon.
And there's no point in stopping either because Mark Hamill, for example, after Star Wars, he really never played in any other movies afterwards because everyone knew him as Luke Skywalker.
Well, that in the car accident, but yeah.
And also, I mean, he only did the voice of the Joker and Batman, and he played as the Flash, and not the Flash,
trickster.
the trickster in the old Flash show.
Well, you say only voiced the Joker. He is the voice of Joker. I mean, we're talking Bruce Timm's run of The Dark Knight, and he is a quintessential Joker. So, it's a different type of medium, but I would not diminish that in any way.
Well, I'm not
shape,
saying
or form.
only because I appreciate what he did as the Joker. So
Yeah,
but,
kind of like Batman. He's a Batman fan. But no, the Joker. I mean, but that made the Joker, and so everything that's been done since has been compared to that Joker. Every Joker is compared to that Joker, and that's I think that's relevant when we start looking at characters. And so if we were to bring in a new Captain America, it would be compared to Chris Evans.
Yeah.
He set the bar. Even though he's not the first, there's other people that have played him, but he's the first real bar. And we're really starting to see a generational thing where superheroes have come back in this big way with all these 18 different movies, and they've proven something. They've proven something to the world that they can tell this long arching story, and we'll be right there with them all the way through as long as they keep up the quality. And even with that, they hadn't. Like Thor: Dark World. I mean, come on, that was a little shaky.
That was, I think, the worst MCU movie.
It was definitely up there. I'm waiting to see the Ant-Man.
Yeah.
And the Wasp.
Ant-Man and Wasp, to see how that plays out.
I heard it may be set before Infinity War. I heard that, but I'm not 100% sure because I've been hearing different things, but that's why I've heard that it's set right before Infinity War.
Did you catch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. this week?
No, I haven't. Did they talk about it?
No, they make a statement. They said, have you heard about what's going on in New York? And Quake goes, I haven't had time to notice anything else. But it's like she makes a reference towards the activity and the attack in New York.
Oh, okay. That's now we know they're still connected, kind of.
It was a subtle, but I'll see how that works out. I mean, I'm kind of thinking that their season's going to end with somebody snapping their finger, or just a bunch of them disintegrating.
Oh, yeah.
So it's like, that's to be how they close theirs out. So, all right. Anything else we want to bring up?
Do you think Vision's going to come back?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Because, Shuri, right?
Shuri.
How she's already taking the stone out. And, like, she already has, like, basically a replica, and it's in her system. So I feel like she could make another stone. Because I also read another theory where it was, like, when Doctor Strange gave the stone, and he was, like, out of the chances of winning was, like, 1 in a billion. And then
400 million, something like that.
Something like that. He ended up giving the stone, and they're like, no, why would you do that? And it's like, it's the only way. So maybe Thanos had to have all the stones, and there might be a way where they could remake the stones.
Well, I don't think they're going to remake the stones because the stones were created, the beginning of the universe or whatnot, and all of them came, and it was made, by a powerful reaction, you could say. And I don't think Shuri, no technology that can, I think, remake a stone, per se.
Well, maybe not remake a stone, but I mean...
Yeah, but something has to equal it.
Well, that's why Thor went to the dwarf to make a god weapon. They might be going back there to making something else. I don't think so, but they're going to get the gauntlet somehow with the stones, not remaking the stones.
Well, in the comics, once Adam realizes what's happening with the stones and he's losing control, he uses the power, the ultimate power of the gauntlet, to make it, to change the rules of the jewels so they don't work together. So that you can have no person could use 2 of them simultaneously. And when he did, the gauntlet became inert because they were all combined on that. And then they handed out the gems back to people, to heroes, and they used them. I don't know if they'll go that far because that's kind of a complex story arc. But they surprised me with some of the stuff they've arced in already. So we'll see how that plays. But as far as like the Vision goes, the Vision, she could have mapped the whole mind. She could have done all of that. And in the comics, there was multiple Vision bodies. So they were able to reboot him. So she could have transferred his consciousness or copied his consciousness to some other. I mean, we're talking Wakandan technology, so who knows what what they were doing.
Yeah.
Besides that, he could show up and be more powerful. I mean, be made out of vibranium.
That's true.
They have a
I'm
lot
pretty
of
sure the suit was vibranium, though. Because remember, Ultron, he got the vibranium from...
He was a synthoid.
No, remember, because Ultron, he got the vibranium from the dude who plays Gollum, Andy Serkis. I forgot the actor's name. It was like a whole bunch of vibranium he had.
And he made a new body for himself out of vibranium.
I thought they used the vibranium for Oh.
No, the Synthoid is a combination of technology and cellular. That's why they brought in the doctor and they had the regeneration booth.
Oh, okay.
And they were trying to. He was trying to create a more. He was trying to arch human and technology together. So, all right. Well, we've run a little over. Again, thank you for joining us. Sorry if we ruined anything. If we have, well, shouldn't have listened. Again, Soltren, Valeria, from the campus of Fayetteville State. If you have any questions, you doubt us, make comments below. And I'm all for getting told I'm wrong about stuff.
Me too.
So you're usually wrong about stuff. Thank you very much.